Welcome back to TheChowTimePod. It's your host, Red. I got a video today from Peace World. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. I really appreciate it. That's good at Chow. It's Chow Time.
I uploaded a video explaining that I named my women's only gym the Girl Spot so that it abbreviates to the G Spot so that men never find it. A man, of course a man, commented on that video and he said, "Embarrassing. Good luck getting any women to sign up, LOL." You see, I announced the opening of my women's only gym on Sunday the 2nd of February. Today is Sunday the 9th of February, so it's been exactly 1 week. In the space of a week, 8,602 women have registered their interest for my women's only gym.
Registering interest is not the same as paid membership, by the way.
It's called the Girl Spot and abbreviates to the G Spot so that men never find it. You see, when men think that women-only spaces will not work, that confirms to me that women-only spaces will work, because the joke was never for you, sweetie. The joke was for the girlies. And sometimes, just sometimes, you need to ask yourself, why am I so bothered about women-only spaces?
We're bothered because we're not allowed to have men-only spaces. And if we were trying to get into your space, then we're some kind of predator, evil people. If we create our own space, we're also predator, evil people. Do you see how that works? So when you guys get to have your own spaces, we feel a way about it. It's like, why can't we get our own?
Well, look, me personally couldn't care less about women's only spaces. My gym has a women's only space, and I think it's fantastic. I think there should be more women's only spaces, more women's only gyms. The funny thing about misandrists, though, is that everything they do is centered around the hatred of men. The first ones to speak about decentering men, but their whole being is centered around how much they don't like us. This woman created a gym, abbreviated the G Spot, with men in mind. Another funny thing about misandrists, and it is really funny because it's something that I've exposed before, and I always get feminists in the comments trying to tell me I'm wrong. Now, what is it I always say about these misandrists? They hate men so much, but yet they cannot keep their legs closed. I named my gym the G Spot so men wouldn't be able to find it. Well, I guess...
Yeah, you couldn't name it some girly thing just to attract women. You named it something particularly to show men something or to expose men somehow.
Guy that put a baby in you didn't have to find the G Spot to do that, did he? I don't get it. I don't know why this is the case, but it is. Okay, they don't like men. Can't keep their legs closed, though. And there'll be a feminist, oh, misandrists don't have kids. Misandrists don't have kids. Yeah, they do. They really do have kids. And what's that dynamic like? I don't know if this is a girl or a boy. But
I mean, same with the Margot Robbie when she had a boy, the chick that played Barbie. Oh my gosh, so many people told her to delete her baby because it was a boy.
But boy, either way, they shouldn't be doing this.
Journal put out a fascinating article on female managers with an analysis of people who prefer to have a female manager broken out by age and gender. Unsurprisingly, the highest rate of people who prefer to have a female manager are women between the ages of 18 and 29, and this shrinks drastically. So by the time women are in the latter stages of their career, they are much more likely to prefer to have a male boss. I think there's a giant misconception when you are a young woman in the workplace that you are going to go to work and have a female manager who is going to be not only your manager and boss relationship, but also serve as a mentor and advocate for you. And something my friends and
I think that's what a lot of women do think. Most of the bosses I've ever had were not really mentors, they were just bosses. Like I have had mentors in my life, but they weren't my bosses.
Talk about a lot is the sense of resentment that we were surprised to see from more senior women. And it's not all senior women, and I really want to be clear in that. But there is an idea, I think, from some female leaders that they had to suffer and make their own way in a male-dominated field, and they do not need to be advocates for women in the workplace, or that women who are so much more junior than them already have it so much easier that they cannot relate to these women. Or
these women are just jealous. jealous of the youth and beauty that these women have. Now they're older. Now they're going to punish these women for attracting all of the attention away from them.
If you're a young woman who is at work and you anticipated having a really close relationship with a female manager and were so excited by it and have become disillusioned by that concept, you are far from the only person, and this analysis is really interesting to read.
So there are a lot of women who are coming out and speaking about the fact that they don't like having female bosses.
Yeah.
And they're speaking about their experiences with female bosses. And they're talking about how shocked they were because, like this woman said, a lot of women go into work thinking, yeah, I have a girl boss, we're going to be friends, it's going to be great. And they enter the workplace and they realize that isn't the case.
Like my experience.
Yeah, their female bosses are actually probably one of the most miserable people.
When I would go to a job interview was like, if there was a black woman, for example, on the other side interviewing me, I'd be like, oh, I'm definitely not getting it. Why? Really? That person works at a company where they're probably the only one or a few of the only one. They're only woman, they're the only person of color. You're a reflection on them. And so they got to be extra, like toughness dialed up. And at least in my experience, my biggest allies in business and people have helped me lean towards being men over women, and it's like an unfortunate.
I will say it's the same for me. Yeah, the worst things that have happened to me in the workplace have happened from women. When you feel like you are wearing that role and there can only be one woman, then you feel like there's more competition against the other women. And so it's important for all of us.
And that's the thing, right? Women are not immersed in competition the way men are, right? We are, as soon as we hit freaking puberty, we're in as soon as we're born almost, we're in some kind of competition with other men, other boys in the world. It's just normal for men to compete with each other. Women are not like that. So when women get to a nice position, they don't want to compete. They don't want other women to compete against them anymore. They've already made it. They felt like, oh, I've made it. I get to coast now. Where men understood, even if I've made it, I can easily get knocked down by another man or another person that's going to be more willing to do things that I am not.
To look at that and say, like, we're not going to fall into that. There can be so many.
Look, she mentioned it, and it's all about competition. In the real world, men don't view women as competition.
Nope.
Right? A man is never going to achieve something and then compare himself to a woman. That's just not how we operate.
100% true. I agree with this.
That's how women operate a lot of the time. Right? You see these women collecting awards and they're comparing themselves to men. So if a man is your boss, he's above you, he knows there's no competition. So there's no need for him to look at you as, you're my subordinate, right? But when it's two women, even though that dynamic is the same, you're subordinate, this is your boss, women will start comparing shit that isn't like work related. Like your family situation. Are you child free? Oh, maybe they have a child and they're not happy with their family situation. Or maybe it's the opposite way around. They will start comparing and competing with things that might not even be work related. How beautiful are you? Are you better looking?
Yeah.
Your boss might be a problem. It might be.
I could write an entire book.
Most likely, actually.
On the woes of having a female boss. But no one prepares you for the one-sided beef, the documentation, the micromanaging, the jealousy they feel towards you, and how protective they are of their own roles and their own positions.
Yep.
Nobody prepares you, especially...
This is spot on description of what's going on.
As a childless woman who is 40, no one prepares you for them and their...
I gotta say, girl, you look pretty good for 40.
Little microaggressions towards being childless, being queer in the workplace, and having the nerve.
Now we're going into all the labels. BIPOC, queer, 40, childless.
To be attractive, well put together, and well spoken. Oh my gosh. So, you can tell where I am in life. I'm pretty frustrated with the way of the world. And I very much would like a male boss.
Damn.
To go off on how women are terrible bosses to other women.
So I used to work for a multinational company being a translator, and this woman wasn't even my boss. She was not my boss. She was the director of finance, but somehow she convinced herself that she's my boss, although I was actually an assistant and translator for somebody completely different. So she used to call me in her office and ask me the most inappropriate, highly aggressive questions. And it would always just send me in tears. Like, I would always end up just crying in the bathroom. And I remember this one time, she called me to her office and I had a dress. There was no dress code, and I was like 19, so I was wearing like a shorter dress. And she's like, come to my office now. I go to her office, and she looks at me and she's like, are you even wearing underwear under that? And I just remember I froze because I was a teenager and I didn't know what the hell to respond to that. And I was just like, yes, I'm wearing underwear. In fact, I wasn't just wearing underwear, I was wearing shorts. And so then she dismissed me, and I went to the bathroom. And
I can just say it now. Instant jealousy factor. 19-year-old in a nice little short skirt. Yeah, she's going to feel a way about it because you stole all of her attention.
And I cried my eyes out, wishing that this would stop, but it never did. I was very lucky to have actually good bosses. Some of them were women, some of them were men. But I will never forget that because I didn't expect that kind of schmexual harassment to come from a woman. And it was very shocking to me. That is something that I'm used to from men, not from women. So it was like kind of like a double betrayal of, wow, I thought I'd be safe with you, but no, that was not the case. I still hate her to this day.
Is that sexual harassment by her just asking you if you're wearing underwear because she wants to make sure you... See, the things that women put into that category of SA, I don't really think most of that stuff belongs.
And I wish her nothing but the worst.
Just more evidence that the sisterhood doesn't exist, right? The idea of women sticking together.
It exists as a facade.
Doesn't exist. People don't align themselves to other people based on gender. It's never been a thing, right? It's never been a thing throughout history. You can't find a time where all men came together or all women came together on the basis that they were men or women. It just doesn't make sense. So you might find that men, for example, their worst boss might be a man. But like, okay, like...
There's a lot more men bosses.
We didn't expect men to like us because we were men. Because
yeah,
what the fuck is that about? Right? But women expected other women to like them just because they're women. And when they realize that isn't the case, this becomes a big deal. When in reality, it shouldn't be a big deal. It shouldn't be you should not expect someone to like you because they're the same gender as you.
True. I can agree.
Y'all, I done lost another nigga trying to be funny. I done lost another nigga trying to be funny. I'm gonna show y'all my iPad because I don't feel like playing with the green screen today. So at first he said, good night. I said, you don't have any money, do you? This was after he invited me over and I said, I'm not fucking coming because I ain't coming without no money. I said, you don't have any money, do you? Just be honest with me. That's what I said. I love to start shit. He said, ew, they gonna see me money. Talking about you're a weirdo, LOL. No, you're broke, LOL. And he said, you won't ever know. Good night, LOL. My taxes are public. Also, LOL, use your degree to figure it out, gang. I pay taxes on $500,000 each year. LOL, you're a kid to me, Niani. Literally. Literally. And you just proved it with that dumbass question. The real question is, can you count out 20K right this second? I don't know why he would ask me that because, bitch, I'm a girl. I don't care if I couldn't count out $20 right now. Face card never decline. You need the money. Well, if not, you have the audacity for even asking.
What the fuck does that mean? It doesn't matter if I have money because I'm a girl. He got defensive because you assume that he was broke. Men get very defensive over their money and their height and some other things, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. You don't have any money, do you? Why do you assume that I'm broke? Am I giving off broke vibes? Like, what? Yeah, he's going to get defensive. And he's asking you, do you have money? And your response is, it doesn't matter because I'm a girl? What the fuck?
Because I have a pretty face.
Card never declines? Definitely.
Girl, you're about to get declined harshly soon.
Me that, my penthouse $500,000. All you have to do is Google, use context clues. If you not getting some money out of me, look in the mirror. You don't suck no, throw no, cook no meals, clean no cribs around here. Why would you ever see $1 from me? I'm not Molly the maid.
Yeah, what? Why would you ever think you're gonna get somebody if you ain't doing nothing for the money? You just come over here thinking we're just giving out free money. You give out free money. You gotta do something for it. Yeah.
Women just think we're all Mr. Beast, right? We're just handing out money. Hey, you want to quit your job? I'll give you 10,000, 200,000. Hell no, we're not that rich.
Okay, and they got prostitutes for that, honey. I said, you seem a little tense. Having financial difficulties will do that to you. Get some rest. I've been there. It gets better. He said, I'm guessing that's a no to my question. Probably talking about the can I count out 20K right now. LOL, financial difficulties, my bills paid until next year in advance. So is my daughter's. That's your child. I would hope so. The fuck? And then he said, LOL.
She's a troll. She's a troll.
You need some rest. You have to get up for work.
This is why you don't argue with women on the internet.
Work in the morning. Work tomorrow. Joke's on him. I ain't got no damn job. I ain't got no damn job. I said, he said, I haven't worked in 7 years. One of us has student loan debt. The other has 800 credit score, 3 homes in his name. You're a kid. This don't even have to go there. If you needed some money, you could have just said that. I just counted your rent out. He sent me a video, y'all, of him counting money. Talking something. I don't even want to do this. You wanted to do it, bitch. You had that video saved. Don't play with me, yo. I said, you want to call me a bitch so bad, don't you? I think it's funny. I think everything is funny. Anyways, one thing about me.
You think it's funny until a man that you want comes and trolls you this exact same way and string you along, and then you're gonna, we're all the good man.
I love to troll a man. Like, I love to see them get all in their feelings, start sweating. Ooh, I'm ashy. Start sweating, start stuttering. I got the money. I got the money. Chill, boo. Chill. I know you got it.
This is crazy. You know what I'm saying? A broke woman trying to call a man broke. And when that man gets defensive and starts counting money, trying to show you that he's not broke, she's not even upset because she's trolling.
Yeah.
But in reality, if you wanted money, you kind of fumbled because he had money. You know, a lot of these women be talking about sprinkle and all this stuff. They ain't got no game. It's like when we talk about what do you bring to the table, right? Asking that question to someone is never going to turn out well for you.
Hardly
it's
ever.
Never going to turn out well for you. It's better you see with your own eyes what they bring to the table rather than asking the question, right? Because people don't...
Same thing with the body count thing. No need to ask. Just ask questions, let them talk about their lives, their exes. They'll tell on themselves.
Most people don't even know how to articulate that. What do you bring to the table? Most people can't articulate what they bring to the table. You asking a man, are you broke? It's never going to work out well for you. Just see. If you waited a little bit, you would see whether or not he's broke or not. But you asking him if he's broke, now he has to flex on you to show you that he's not broke. Now whatever you guys could have had is done.
There's also no need to be flexing in messages like that. If they call you broke, bye. Yeah, I'm broke. I can't afford you. Sorry. No need to go back and forth. Unless you want to troll back and forth too. So
what I said was back in the day, bitches was very much colorist as well. And the response to that was name a professional athlete whose love interest isn't lighter than a paper bag. If we're talking about colorists. I don't give a fuck about them niggas. Why do you give a fuck about them niggas? I don't care about who anybody love interest is. I care about if they could dribble a fucking basketball, act, or throw a football.
Yep. Are they good at what they do?
How does your daddy fucking wife look? My dad, baby mother, ex-wife, was a dark-skinned woman. Hence me. Why would I give a fuck what actor, athlete, or whatever else is doing with a bitch? Unless it's something crazy. I don't care what color they bitches is.
Unless it's just like flaunting crazy stuff like, you know, polygamy and stuff like that, then I probably won't say crap either.
Nigga, is you gonna hit this parlay or not? What are we doing? Getting too far away from the plot. Also,
I don't condone gambling, guys. Do not get into gambling. It is probably the most devastating addictions out there.
LeBron James, though. Yeah, LeBron James. Yeah. The athlete. LeBron. And it always fucked me up because if I'm talking about local colorism, why would you bring that to a conversation of less than 1% of the population? Black athletes that are millionaires, that are playing professional sports, that are also relevant and on TV that we...
They're not even 1%, brother. They're probably like 0.05% of the black population. So, not that many of them
would even know who their wives and shit are. Who gives a fuck about them? You might as well have asked me, damn, did your teacher like light skins or dark skins?
I like this man's thought process.
A much more real and valid conversation would be like, your friend group right now, how many of them is cuffing a light skin, how many of them is cuffing a dark skin, and how many of them is cuffing a brown skin, white woman, Asian, so on and so forth. Who give a fuck about what an athlete doing?
It's such a good question.
It is.
What was your father's type? Right? Was it dark skin? You're out here worried about millionaires. That's not your reality. That's not. You don't have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about what the athletes are doing. They will never see you in life. You will never see them in real life. But people like to live through social media.
They do.
So people will look at these athletes who are dating white women and they're dating all these other women, and it's like they'll extrapolate that onto all men. When it's like, you understand that they aren't a representative of black men. They are athletes. They're in their own little bubble, in their own little world. You should...
True. It is just literally a bubble of athletes. Like, it could be any color of athletes. They're just in the bubble themselves. Doesn't matter what color they are. There's very few Asian ones, and, you know, we have one great one in the Dodgers. You don't think he gets the same status as every other athlete that is black, white, or Hispanic? Pretty much.
Live in your own world, not their world, because you will never be there. But I genuinely believe that there are a lot of women out there who believe that they could get an athlete if athletes didn't only like white women.
Oh,
like,
is that the thought process? Like, maybe it's not that athletes like white women. They like women that are nice, submissive, and are willing to do things. And it happens to be a black woman. I'm sure there's a good amount of Asian women and Hispanic women too. Just when we talk about black women, I don't want to talk about too much, but you are the least sought after demographic. So black men just want all men just want a certain type of woman. Doesn't matter what color she is. Sometimes it just lands on a certain color every time. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. I really appreciate that. And I'll get you next time.